Hello everyone, it's Adam here. Alright, I gotta make this quick. I haven't done a video like this in like, what, 2 months, 3 months? It's been a while since I've done a video where I start on the lake and kind of do a circle and chat with you guys about things and sort of go over what's happening. I'll go and do my favorite little off-road road over here and then figure out where I'm going from there. I'm rocking, by the way, the new Badlands Pro Aero gloves. So the Badlands Pro form and function, including this big, huge thing up here. But it has, it's not a long gauntlet, it's a short gauntlet, as you can see right here. And then it has perforations everywhere. So it's basically a Badlands Pro glove, but instead of having Gore-Tex and full gauntlet, it's lets a lot more airflow through. I'm liking it a lot, actually. You know, it feels super safe. Has a really nice construction. It's full leather everywhere with nice little comfy pads. So grab your stay. This just came out, actually. It fits just like the Badlands Pro off-road touring glove, which is, they're expensive gloves. I think it's like $250 for the touring glove. And you know, last time I came up here, it was pretty wet. The thing is, it's just still raining a lot, so it's probably still gonna be wet back here. Should probably turn off my traction control. You guys can probably hear me drop the bike 4 or 5 times. It's better back here. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because I'm going to New York City tomorrow. By the time you're seeing this, I'm already probably back from New York City for my birthday. I'm turning 35. And Heather and I stopped giving gifts to each other a couple of years ago. And these knobbies are amazing. They feel so much better than the street tires at sort of just going over terrain. And so we stopped giving gifts to each other a few years back for our birthdays. So now we do things for each other, little experiences. Oh yeah, this is still pretty nasty. So we're gonna be, oh yeah, I wish you guys could see the back of this thing dancing around. So we'll be in New York City. We're gonna go to a Mets game, get some good sushi. I don't eat sushi up here in New Hampshire, so we only eat sushi and we go to cities and just have a couple of nights down there. Yeah, I'll slow this up here. That was a lot of fun, actually. It was dancing everywhere. When we get back, so this is going to go in the garage tonight. So when we get back, this thing gets stripped. So just to give you an idea, like nav comes off, RAM mounts come off. We keep one mirror. We ditch the iPhone mount, ditch the tank bag, ditch the cup holder, probably ditch the Jesse mounts, the final drive cover, the LED headlights, the auxiliary lights, you know, maybe the racks, I don't know. All kinds of shit's gonna get taken off. Oh, this thing up here, this thing, we'll need the top rack for our handles, but this thing will get gone. So that's gonna happen like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday we load this thing up in the back of the truck and drive 1,000 miles down to Greer for the GS Trophy qualifier. And man, I wish I had more time because I want to talk to you guys a bit more about it. I did a video like 3 months ago. I talked about it a bit more, but I want to talk a bit more about like the logistics of it, but talk about it from like I haven't gone yet, as opposed to talk about it because retroactively, I'm going to talk about it from my experience in it. Where now I can talk to you about like some of my hopes and so what I'll say is I think it's revue.adamchandler.me is a link to my newsletter. The latest post has a bit more about where my head is pre-GS Trophy. That's probably the most I can say about it right now. My head's in a really bad place about it, about my anti-competitiveness, my anxiety about it. The way I compete is pretty shitty. So I'm very nervous about it. A few of the participants in the qualifier have reached out to me privately, and we've had some really nice chats, and they've been super helpful. I've had a few of people that I think are on the inside, and that have helped me out with a couple of things. You know, nothing like too proprietary, but just, you know, kind of coax me on. So I'm just nervous about it. I'm afraid I'm going to get there and I'm going to F up the first, you know, exercise, and my mind is going to say, you don't deserve to be here, pack up your shit and go home. And I'm going to have to overcome that emotion to not pack up my shit and go home. We're in a rut. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with mentally right now, is just sort of the anxieties of it that are all in my head. I'm an okay GS rider. I'm okay. I love this kind of riding, but doing this kind of riding on this shit at 1 mile an hour to feather the clutch and like go full locks turns, that's not my kind of fun. So it's the obstacle course of it that I wish we could just go all ride together and then have BMW be like, based on what we saw, you know, you 10 are good enough to like compete against each other. Right now it's just being against 45 other people, and someone I might encounter never does this kind of riding. They never go do off-road riding. They live in Baltimore, they don't ride off-road, but for the last 2 years they have done nothing but like 1 mile per hour slow speed turns in their parking lot, and they're gonna kick my ass because that's what this is. That's what I think it is. So anyway, I gotta look where I'm going. I'm not even looking where I'm going. I'm hitting all kinds of rocks and shit. So I'm nervous, but yeah, just gonna go. Just gonna go and do it and see how it goes. Yeah, this has dried up considerably since last time. We've had a lot of rain this year, most rain in 5 years, and unfortunately the northern part of the state is still in a drought. So we need more rain, really. I love these tires, by the way. Oh, there's been some 4x4s down through here. It's gonna be sloppy. Oh yeah. Let's get on this road though. I had a thing today that I just a couple hours ago posted to the MOA forum about ATGATT. You know, there was something that happened to Heather and I at the RA rally a couple weeks ago in Waynesville, North Carolina, where Heather was simply holding her bike while I unloaded mine from the pickup truck. And you know, someone was helping spot us, and they were huge help. It was great, actually, because the first time we'd unload our bikes from a truck, and so they were huge help. Sometimes I'm just dancing around in mud. They were huge help, and but then like parting words from the husband and wife that were helping us, ooh shit, was to Heather, hope you don't wear flip-flops when you're riding. She was in, oh my god, she was in flip-flops while she was helping to unload her bike. And I know that person's heart was in the right place. They were just trying to be kind, but you know, Heather wears her gear all the time, head to toe. And the BMW culture is ATGATT, I get it, but it comes off a little bit cliquey and kind of exclusionary. Like I should be able to legally show up at any event, BMW or not, minus track events because there are track rules. It's a private course, but I should be able to show up at any BMW breakfast or off-road event with just a helmet and shoes, you know, underwear, etc. And yet people can't do that at BMW events because they'll get basically kicked off course. You know, hey, get out of here with your bare arms and legs. Anyway, it rubbed her the wrong way. She felt like, you know, these people that like, she was like, I'm safe all the time. All I'm doing is holding my motorcycle, and I'm told that I should be wearing, you know, motorcycle boots. And she's 30. You know, she's 30 years old. She's doing the right thing. She's got a really nice touring bike. She wears all of her gear all the time. She's done 2 straight years of training after her getting her MSF certification. You know, she's going to events with me. She's very safe. And then someone says, don't wear your flip-flops while you're riding. It just really kind of, I think it upset her more than it upset me, but I'm kind of channeling her response to it, and then I'm thinking about it. So I guess my MOA post in the forum was like, basically, people were coming to the conclusion that those that don't wear gear have a low IQ and are stupid. And someone said, well, I ride with guys that aren't cruisers, and professionally very smart people. They are doctors, and they choose because they like the look of just wearing their vest and their, brain bucket. And that's how they choose to ride. And, I kind of hopped on and said, hey, I just kind of wish you guys would sort of just calm down. Like, lead by example. Wear all your gear. Lead by example. And let people who are operating their own private motorcycles on their own thing just follow the rules, which is just wear a helmet. And if they want to do something else at their own peril. And I made a comparison, by the way, to some of you touring riders that have radar detectors on your bikes. Like, you guys have radar detectors because you want to be able to go faster than the speed limit and not get a ticket. But, BMW riders seem to embrace the radar detector culture, but not the I don't want to wear a jacket culture. Anyway, I just think that it's your thing. And if you want to do that, that's your prerogative. Anyway, I should get off my horse. I'm going to piss someone off about this, but it just came to my mind, and I felt like I'm kind of defending Heather here because she doesn't have her own channel. Are we done? I think we're done. I think I rambled enough today. GS trophies next week. I should let you guys know. Maybe I'll go for a little bit here. They do allow spectators, but if you come as a spectator Thursday or Friday, prepare to have some, like, not be sent away, but kind of be like put off to the side until there's space for you. Because spectators, you're not entitled to watch the GS Trophy qualifier, and so it's just a little bit extra work for them to have spectators. So they're kind of saying spectators will have pretty open, free reign Saturday afternoon. But before Saturday afternoon, which is pre-finals, it's going to be basically about participants and BMW staff and volunteers, obviously. Clear this. Weird. Oh, doing the menu. Oops. Basically, volunteers can be there the whole weekend. And Heather, who's going to be volunteering, she's going to have to basically go where they tell her to go. She's not going to be allowed to stick with me the entire time. And they made a mention, too, that volunteers are going to be able to... are going to be transported. So volunteers are not required to have their own motorcycles. So participants are, volunteers are not, and volunteers, though, will have access to a shuttle to get them to and from the challenges, which makes me believe that there's going to be times where I get taken off site, and then, I had to follow this group on my bike, and then I get there and Heather's there coming out of a bus or something. I think that's how it's going to work. I don't know, but it sounds like there's going to be on-site and off-site challenges. They'll move volunteers around. They said volunteers should have a clipboard and everything, something to write with. People keep dumping shit back here. See all this grass and like clippings and stuff? People continue to dump shit back here in this space, and I don't know, like, eventually they're going to put up a trail camera or something. Because it's getting to be like, it's really starting to add up. Like, it looks like they've done 1, 2, 3, 4 loads so far of grass. I have the spot, by the way, because I can go down here with the dog and unload him and walk along the lake, the river here. And it's just a nice spot to take the dog for a walk. I assume there's no motorized vehicles allowed back there because of how narrow that is. That's probably all I should talk about today. I need to write my blog post about turning 35. That's a whole thing I do every year. I've got to figure out what's going to get nixed next year for content-wise. The YouTube thing is fine. I think the podcast is probably on my chopping block as much as you guys have enjoyed it. It's anytime something, and none of this stuff makes me very much money or any money at all. So anytime something is like, I have to think or schedule to do it, it becomes more like a job. And so I might nix the podcast next year, or just keep it retired until I come across an audio file that is worth posting up. Someone else asked about 701 content. So let's cover on 701 content. It's coming back after the qualifier. I really want to take the Husky and put it in the back of the Ram and drive north to the easternly part of Quebec on the peninsula, where you can basically see Newfoundland and Labrador, well, if you have a high-power telescope, and unload the bike, set up a tent, and just have a base camp and like ride off-road in the national Canadian park up there for like 3 days. It's a one-day drive up there, a one-day drive back. Heather wouldn't go with me. It would be me doing some off-roading up there by myself. But I really want to do that, and so we'll just see if we'll see if that happens or not. There's not going to be a lot of time between well, I guess while I have you guys, because I'm almost basically out of video for the next couple of weeks. You basically have me for GS Trophy Qualifier, then the Green Mountain Rally, and then the MOA Getaway at Sugar Bush in Warren, Vermont. And then I have 1 week off, and then my wedding is happening. And then after the wedding, it's pretty much empty again, but I don't think I want to go into Quebec on a motorcycle in October. So, and then 2 weeks after the wedding, I'm going to California for a week with Heather. It's not a honeymoon, we're just going to go to California. She's never been to Northern California before, and I spent 6 years of my life there, so we're just going to have a California week and do the typical stuff that I did when I was there. Have some fun with people and see some old friends and just sort of be foodies. And so my year is almost over, but for you people that want 701 stuff, I made a promise myself in July. As of July 1st, no more 701 riding and no more beer. Because I wanted to drop some pounds, increase some stamina, and get very comfortable on this motorcycle. And unfortunately, I've done a shit job at getting comfortable on this bike, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm leaving you guys. Thanks for watching. Short video. I appreciate you all tuning in. And if you're going to be in Greer at the Performance Center next week as a spectator, as an attendee, or as a volunteer, please drop me a comment or an email. Sorry. Last thing. It's like housekeeping stuff. I found out last week for the Jesse Luggage giveaway that Instagram has messaging, like private messages, direct messages, I guess you call them. I didn't know this. And so I guess there's like hundreds of people that have messaged me on Instagram, and I didn't know you messaged me. I want you all to know that I didn't ignore you. So what I've done is I've turned off the ability of people to message me on Instagram. I have an email address. I'm in my inbox 16 hours out of the day, like in the inbox. So if you have a question, comment on my YouTube channel or send me an email. I promise you I'll get back to you. Instagram messaging just doesn't work. And you all should know too that YouTube does filter out comments if your messages are flagged a lot. Some people get their comments deleted or pruned or sent to spam purgatory, and it's not my fault. So email is always best, and I'll always respond to you guys. So just keep that in mind. I'm sorry. That's all. Ride safe, everyone. Take care. Get these gloves. They're awesome. I got a discount on them, but get these gloves. They're awesome. And ride safe.